The reading culture at our school is absolutely fantastic, and I've never seen it in any other school that I've worked. And there's a real love of reading, and I think that's been developed at home by their families, especially the mothers and fathers who spend a lot of time reading books to their children. And then it's also fostered in our primary school, and I also know that it's also fostered in our secondary school. And I'm absolutely amazed with the amount of books that get borrowed in our school, especially with the secondary students. Primary students borrow because they're here every week for library, but in the secondary school the students are here borrowing because they want to read, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. The advantages of reading, we all know this. It helps us to become a better person. We sometimes can understand different points of view because we get absorbed by characters in books. We also can develop our language skills a bit better. We can speak better English. We get exposed to new worlds. We can also hide in a book. We can also become part of a character, or we get absorbed by the setting of a book. So there's lots of things happening with our students and their reading. And what I find really interesting is that the electronic books are very important these days, e-books, but I actually find that our students, many of them prefer the hardcover book, not the hardcover, the hard copies of the book, the actual print version rather than the e-version, which I find amazing. We spend a large amount of money in getting authors to come to our school from Australia and beyond. We also use local authors, and the advantages in this are immense. We know that we'll have Graham Basey next week, for example. He's talking to a number of classes in the primary school, and Graham Basey's books, once we put them back on the shelf, will never be on the shelf again for probably the next few months, because the kids have actually made contact with the author. He will talk about the way he writes his books and the way he illustrates his books. And then we know that Graham Based books, we'll be certainly buying extras, but we won't have enough to cater for everybody. So when an author comes out to our school, Nick Earls is another one who we're currently negotiating with, and maybe he'll come out to the secondary school next term. But we know that it's fantastic to have the authors come into our school and talk about what actually goes into making a story up to be good enough to be published in a book. There's a real art in that.